Let's adjust it and we should be good. Should do, I think. Yeah, it's viewable. Good stuff. Hiya folks, bear with me just a couple of minutes and we'll start the stream. I'm just finishing setting up my gear and I'll be right with you. Everyone hear that okay? You're right, Jen. How's it going, Bane? You alright, mate? Can you hear the sound alright of my voice as well, yeah? Just type if you can, and then that way I know it's okay and I can sit down and start. Hello? Anybody there? There we go, perfect. Good stuff. Right. Just going to knock the heating down a touch because it's a bit warm in here. Hella warm, in fact. And set up my controls. And then we should be good to go. And where I put my controller. There we go. Right then. There we go. Right, so just to let you know what we're going to do and tell you what's going on. I'm going to apologise in advance for a couple of things. I'm kind of doing this on a whim. For any of you who've been following what's been going on the last few days, Dana Meddings has been starting live streams from isolation to cure the boredom, chatting with some people. I've been on there and a bunch of other YouTubers. Aaron Davis has started streaming a nightly completion challenge. Well, I can tell you now that I'm nowhere near that good. I've got a cabbage stand and I just like to play games casually. So I thought, well, let's add into that schedule and just do something for myself. I know I usually do my hardware reviews, but I thought I'd do a bit of a playthrough of some games that I really enjoy. So I won't be able to read your comments because I've got your phone next to me. I might pause between levels and just check in on you, see what you're saying. But I'm going to give this a bit of a playthrough. In the interests of making sure it doesn't become dull, I am going to turn up the amount of life bars I've got to make sure I can get through and complete it. I am using, because I've only set this up today, I can't find any other good wireless controllers, so I'm using my Ouya controller because it's the mouse compatible, but there is a little bit of an input lag and it's hard to press two buttons together, so if it looks like I'm playing CAC, not making excuses, but that is why. I'm going to try and set something up better for this. But this is a game I've played through a lot over the years. This is the Megadrive version of Golden Axe 1. I've got it set up on my Android TV here. I haven't got the settings ideal, but hopefully it should look pretty steady and the emulation's pretty steady to follow it. So, and hopefully I might do the rest of the Golden Axe series if people really enjoy it. But yeah, this is my stream and I'm going to go through and I'm going to give you some tips and pointers as to how I deal with playing this game through. So, off we go. Right then. And so let's go to options first. Rack up the life meter. And we'll go to arcade. Now I know the everyone's favourite has always been Gilius Thunderhead, but he's not my person of choice. Playing through on my own, my personal favourite is to use Tyrish Flare, purely because she's got the best magic. And when we used to play cooperatively back in the day, I always used to pick Tyrish Flare because I was able to conserve my magic pretty well. So there'll only be about, I think, 3 or 4 instances through the playthrough where I actually use the magic because I try and max it out before I do and save it for the bosses. So, let's check my controls. That's jump. So, there we go. Sorry, just checking what I've got set up. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag, but I can live with it as long as you guys can. So, some basic tactics. when you're playing through this, much like the arcade, you ideally don't want to get into full-on skirmishes with each of the characters. As tempting as it can be and the damage you can do, it's too easy to get sandwiched between them when you're playing on your own. So it's better to utilise your jump and dash attacks and only get into brawls like that when you've got an opening like I just had. Else you can risk getting kicked in the back like that. These little imps. I have actually got somewhere, interestingly enough, when Darren McDade was still doing his bead sprite art, I've got all 3 of the main characters done in like massive bead sprites. Pretty cool. I need to find them out actually. I wanted to get them mounted in a frame. Struggling a bit with the controls already, but I'll just persevere. Once I've got that dragon, it should make the rest of this level really easy anyway. The dragon not as overpowered on this version as on the arcade. The chicken leg anyway. On the arcade, one swipe with the tail is enough to take down most of the standard enemies. It takes 2 swipes on this. Probably rightfully so, because on the whole this is slightly easier than the arcade version, I would say anyway. I used to love playing brawlers like this back in the day. These were my favourite types of games. I much preferred cooperative games to, you know, versus games back in the day, up until the arrival of fighting games, of course. Things like this, Turtles, Simpsons, all the arcade brawlers, Double Dragon, they were all totally my cup of tea. And when I first saw this one, I was hooked. I liked the fact you had all the different magics, the choice of characters that was so different. And when I first saw it was coming to Megadrive back in the day, I was like, oh, I've got to play that. I know a lot of people out there are Sega fanboys. It seemed to be the more popular one of choice for most people. But I had a NES, and that took me right up until I finally got my SNES, quite a lot longer after the 16-bits first came out. But we used to trade and swap consoles all the time, and as far as arcade blasters go, I can't argue the Megadrive had some of the best arcade conversions because they're their own library to pick from. So, right, I'll play through the next level, then I'll pause it and take a look at some of the chat. So, the music on this game, gotta say as well, even the Megadrive port of the music is just superb. It was made for it, really. Awesome music. Now, one of the tricks I'll be utilising here would be my reverse attack, but problems with this controller means I won't be doing that. If I try and do my reverse attack, I'm pressing 2 buttons together, and you can see it's just not working. You can get it to work, but it's very rare. It's because of the input lag, so I'm not even going to attempt to do it. It will hinder some of my battles, unfortunately, but it's just what I've got to live with. It's like you can move out the way there and let them dash at you and have them go over the edge of the ravine there, but it's not worth me risking that either because of the input delay. Might be able to pass it off with these 2 guys coming up here, but it's a rare thing. So see, I didn't even have time to move out the way then. I ain't even pressing the button now because this input lag's terrible. I'll have to try something different for tomorrow night. See if I can dig out one of my other controllers or get my 6-axis controllers working with it. Yeah, I'm taking too many risks here. For every 3 times I'm pressing it, it's pressing it like a 4th time. So one of the tricks you're supposed to use on this a lot is the downward stab like that. It's hard to pull off, and when you've got good controls, it's something you use quite often to bury the worst enemies, but on this it's just not going to work very well, so I'm counting more on standard attacks to get me through, and I'll be utilising the dragons to their fullest, obviously, taking my time. It's all well and good trying to be flashy. When you're playing this on 1 player, it's too easy to get trapped, and you want to hang on to your dragons where possible. Because they're slow, you've got to position yourself carefully so you're not getting pincer moved. So this will be the first opportunity I get to fill up on magic. And I will use this for the very end section of this. Obviously I'm kind of one over at this point because I'd already saved quite a few up, but this section on the arcade is a lot harder because you've actually got a few more enemies appear at once, but you do get to take the red dragon a little bit further. The red dragon only makes a couple of appearances in this one. So here they come and boom. Gotta love that animation. And that's that bit dealt with. One thing that always annoyed me, you can never take your dragons between stages. I suppose it would have made the game a bit too cheap, but there we go. One more, it should be, wherever he's gone now, he's run off. There we go. That's fine anyway. The next chance I'll get to use him with the magic will be the end of this stage. And we'll quickly dispatch him. Commandeer the dragon. Oh, that was an unlucky trade-off. Might not get to carry the dragon forward here, but nah, it's alright. Good trick here when you got him above you like that. On a platform, you can just keep slashing away and completely mince them. It's no problem at all. Should be able to fill up shortly anyway. Again here, while you've got opportunity, keep one still so you can dispatch the other one without too much hassle. That input ghosting's been the right pain in the arse now. That's why I've turned up the amount of damage, amount of hit points I've got, because I wasn't that confident. I can usually play this game through on 1 credit, no problem. But I was trying it yesterday and I could see it was going to be a bit of a problem, so. Right, there's 2 bad brothers come out here, and obviously you want to do what I said, which was to just basically get rid of one and then he can take care of the other. If I've hit him right, he should have gone off the edge. Yes, I did. I don't think I'm getting him off the edge there. Never mind. Goodbye. Stop swiping, I'm not even tapping the button now. I have actually got a wired controller I can plug into this. Maybe I'll set that up for tomorrow instead. Still, not doing too bad. I haven't lost a life yet at least. There we go. So we've got a full rack of magic. If I can position him right, I can save one for once I've spent that as well. Yeah, that should stay on screen just right. So fights like this can be hard when you've got 2, not too bad. When you've got 3 to deal with, best to stick to a few jumping attacks because they don't dash at you generally while you're jumping. And that way you can lower their health at least until you've got rid of one of them. And then you can start dishing out a few more blows. Not as easy to throw. In this one you can't choose which way you throw them. On the sequel you can actually turn round once you've picked them up and throw them into each other and they damage each other. So again, the knight's easily dispatched when you've got that. Does so much damage. Interesting fact as well, the knights can't run on the Megadrive version. On the arcade version, the silver, the red and the gold knights can all run, which makes the battle significantly harder. Here they can't run, so once you've got some distance, a few carefully timed dash kicks, and there's nothing they can do about it. I'll grab the health because I've got a feeling I'm going to need it. There we go. I'll pause it just there and just quickly have a quick look at some of your comments if you've been commenting before I go on to stage 3. So, let's see what we've got. How's it going, Mike? Nice to see you on, mate. Lee, Fraser. Nice one, Dana, for checking in, mate. It is a common game. It certainly is. One of the most common. Golden Axe Warrior, yeah. Definitely harder to find on the Master System. Aaron loves that game. He'll probably cover that at some point. Pet Dragon, yeah. Pet Dragon would be awesome. Nice one, Chris. Nice one, Arthur. Yeah, I never liked the Master System version, Paul. It was way too watered down, man. Corner the power-up gnomes and repeat hit them. You can't do it quite as easy on this. Like I say, if I had full control, I would be doing that, but I haven't got full control because of this stupid input lag, so I haven't got that luxury. Like I say, I'm playing quite conservatively. Usually, I would be a bit more gung-ho and I'd be using the down stabs and corner trap methods, but on this, I can't count on my controls. So I'm just going through it the best way I can. Here's a good place where you can utilise the trick I was talking about. This stage in particular, there's a lot of sections where you can basically get away with not getting hit at all if you position yourself correctly. And that's not the correct position, unfortunately. Yeah, I really screwed that up. Need to get on that middle shelf and be in exactly the right position. That's it, there we go. So one's walked off. He can't swipe on the bottom, and here you can just sit here swiping. They never buckle down, and there's nothing they can do. On the arcade, you can't actually do that trick. On the arcade, it still treats it as though it would do if they're on the ground, so they go into a crouch position, as though you're going to pick them up or hit them on the head. But on the Megadrive version, you can swipe them from the platform below. Helps a lot when it comes to these skeletons. This bit, of course, taken straight from Jason and the Argonauts. The Jason and the Argonauts, or the other one? There's a couple of them in there, where they grow from the teeth of the dead dragon. Sorry, the teeth of the dead Hydra out of the ground. That's where they got these from. But you can easily dispatch them just by doing this. And of course, if you're Gilius Thunderhead, you can't do that because the path that his axe takes is slightly different to that of the swords, so you can't actually do that trick. That's why being either Axebacker or Tyrus helps. The reason I prefer her is because the damage you inflict is the same, but his dashing shoulder is a useless move, whereas her dashing kick gives you a bit more space between you and the enemy, so it's a lot easier to dispatch the big enemies that way. That input lag's terrible. Let's get one down the ditch. There we go. Stupid move. Here I'll be utilising my reverse attack quite a lot, but unfortunately I can't really use it effectively, so I'm taking the easy route of jump attacks and juggling them. If I can hang on to this life till the intermission, I'll be happy, but I don't think it's likely. The skeletons you really need to watch out for. If they get you in a full headlock, you can lose up to 3 blocks of energy in one go, so that's an entire life if you're on standard energy. I'd normally play this through with 3 blocks of life, just like the arcade. There are cheats to allow you to have more credits and a lot more hit points, but I'll never use any of those because the game's not difficult enough to warrant that. I just try and make it my challenge each time to go through on as few lives as possible, and of course you get a higher ranking on the scoreboard at the end if you do that. So you can see here, this is the one stage where I don't use magic at all. There's no point because the next stage you won't need it either, and it's better to save them up and use them for the final boss. Oh, that was nasty. I was hoping I'd survive this, but no. I had to take a hit there. I'd lost too many hits on the earlier stages, to be fair, for that to be an easy stage to complete there, taking a hit. This is the easiest way to deal with the skeletons anyway. Normally, reverse attacks I'll be using quite a lot on these. It's easy to trap them in a corner and just use your reverse attack to spin round and chop their heads. See, well, I would have been able to get health there, but oh well. I'll manage. Whether I'll be able to complete it or not, I don't really know, but we'll find out. So I'm nearly at full magic here. You don't get any on the next stage until you get to the final battle. But we're on the approach to the castle. A little bit more dangerous section here, because if you don't get your positioning right, you can end up going off the edge yourself, but one is easy to get rid of. Uh-oh. That was close. See what I mean? So I could have quite easily gone off the edge there myself. Slightly annoying on the Megadrive, they couldn't make the hawks, the eagle's eye animate on the arcade version. The eye looks at you and follows you around. So once you've got a dragon, this part's pretty easy. You can dodge there to just let her go off the edge, but I don't want to try risking it with these controls. I've got a bit more space now, so I can get away with him and him, hopefully. And then there's 3 more in a second. I should be able to dispatch at least one of them that way. That's one gone, but I'm going to get punished here because I'm trapped getting on and off the dragon. I hate that. Haha, look at that. I've never seen that before. I've got the guy stuck. Hopefully that won't soft lock the game. I need to be able to kick him out of that, else I'm in trouble. Check that out. Thank God for that. If he'd been stuck there, then I would have been screwed. I've gone all the way through. And off the edge he goes. If I had the dragon, this part would be slightly easier, but I should still be able to manage it. You can actually kick one of those off that edge even though you can't see it on screen. Unlike mouse video game logic, off the screen does actually exist. Need to put some distance between these guys. Not like that. Getting all the way over here, that's what I need. Ooh, that wasn't good. Oh, there was that. Oh, I'm struggling to run here with these shitty controls. Stupid. Still, I'm not going to be tempted to use my magic. I'll just keep some distance between them. Take out one at a time, I think. The good thing is the patterns that they work to, the one will always try and take you out and let the other one attack you if he's standing. So you can basically control that other one from entering your plane until the other one's dead. So try again over that, so it's easier to run to the right than it is to the left. Yeah, double tapping's not working too well because of the delay. The delay in the inputs. He'll soon be dead anyway. Yeah, like I say, on the arcade this is a much harder battle because they can run from left to right and they can change direction quite quickly. They took that out for this one for some reason. The Boulder brothers can still run, but the knights can't. Just chip away the damage. You can play if you play the dual mode, that's another way you can basically go through this and go through quite easily. On the arcade version, by the way, this is the front of the castle, so you can actually, if you've kept the dragon from a bit earlier on, you can actually take that up and fight Death Adder with it. So we're on the last section now. First of all, we get the limps up here. and we need to strike them as close to this side of the screen as we can, because we'll need their magic to be on screen for the final fight. Because I'm not going to be able to collect and use it all in one go, so there we go. So I've got full magic and I've still got another 6 pots there. So what I want to do is try and stay at the top of the screen because I've already got full magic, and that way I can deal with these guys first. And again, because I've got 3, relying a lot on my jump attacks to keep me out of most of the trouble. Not all though, clearly. Unfortunately, that's going to be a continue that I use there. It's a shame, but still on Mudlump. If I had my own Megadrive here, guys, I would be playing it, by the way. This was just the simplest way to play it today. All my stuff's in storage at my lockup, so now a chance I can go break that out. And I haven't got a Megadrive Mini either, so I'm lucky to get one though. I did get a SNES Mini, I really love it. Still yet to get a NES Mini. I'd love to get a PC Engine Mini as well, but I've heard they're in short supply. I don't know if any of you guys have got them. Just a big guy to see off now. And again, I could take care of him with run attacks quite easily. Even though he can shoulder barge, her kick gets the advantage over it. Axe Battler's shoulder doesn't. So here comes Death Adder, of course, final boss on the arcade. Dish out that level of magic. That takes care of the skeletons. Collect these up. Oh, should have jumped there. My mistake. Do another bit of good damage to him. I'll try and get him over on the side I want him to go to. He's going to try and launch magic at me. And that usually leaves him open, but I wasn't quick enough. I'm trying to get him on my right side, but not using my best tactics here. Oh, I'm really sucking. Come on, Turner, pull it together. You just won't get that other side of me. That was the trap I was trying to lure him into. If you get just the right distance, stop attacking. That's not it. Neither was that. There's just the right distance. You can trick him into using his magic, and then just be just close enough to get him into a triple attack like that. I'm not even touching the buttons here, guys, by the way. That's why it looks like I'm randomly jumping. Still, not too much energy left. Should be able to finish him off. Again, I'm not touching the buttons there. You can hear me clacking on the buttons, I wasn't even touching the buttons then. And he's gone. Now, for anybody who's never played the arcade version through, that is actually where the arcade version ends. Not only did they pull off a wicked conversion with this, but they kind of went above and beyond. You've actually got an extra stage here, and Death Adder isn't the full protagonist. They reveal there's one more called Deathbringer, and he is a lot more badass than Death Adder. So that's where the arcade version ends, and they send you through the doors. No, I've already used the continue, and I took a couple of lives on Death Adder, so hopefully I can still pull this off. If I don't stop sucking though, I'm not going to be able to, so. Huh. Oh, at least he walks off the end. That was close. Especially knowing there's a skeleton there. So that's one. You have to be careful here because they all appear rather suddenly. Skeletons are no problem, but she appears fast and I've timed that jump wrong. That's those dealt with. There are a couple more guys appear here. Got rid of her anyway, that's one thing. Ideally I want that skeleton to... No, it didn't work. It's alright. As long as I can keep him at bay around the corner there, I should be able to deal with him. Thankfully the skeletons don't actually have too many hit points on this. Oh, that was a bad mistake there. Still, I can walk him off the edge and throw him. Need to get to Deathbringer with at least one bit of health left. Come at the top. That's what we needed. Just need to get two more out of this dude. That's it, so we've got full magic. I can at least carry that through to the last section, as long as I don't do something damn stupid here. Good boy. Thankfully they walk off the edge. As you'll see shortly, the big guys that are coming up, they don't. They walk to the edge and they walk on thin air. So you have to be damn careful. We used to think these guys at the top here were like secret characters. There was some way you could open them up, or at least they'd come and fight you. Checked all the books at the time, all kinds of rumours. Definitely doesn't exist, but that would have been cool. This weird pig-looking dude here. So, big gold knights. And again, we use a similar tactic. See one off to the side. But you watch him walk on air. Oh, he's not going to get a chance because I booted him off, thankfully. That's what I wanted to do. Now if I can just get around him, hopefully I can do the same to him. But yeah, they will walk on air across that space. They won't walk off the edge. See, how ridiculous is that? You can kick them off, thankfully, there. So the final battle. And hopefully I can pull this off, but we'll see. Now what you don't want to do is let Deathbringer hit you, because if he does, he can use magic against you, and that really rinses your energy faster than anything. These two skeletons here as well, by the way, completely invincible. So you really don't want to be trying to get into a fight with them. So, unlike the arcade, if you continue, you don't start with a pot of magic. So you really need to have your wits about you and have your fight game on, and I haven't really got my fight game on, and I'm going to pay for it. I've done a lot of damage to him with that magic, but he doesn't really make much of a dent against him. What you want to do is get the skeletons up one corner of the screen and then come down and deal with him yourself after. And not get caught between them like that. It's a stupid move. Really, this is where the turnaround attacks come in very handy, but what I need to do is corner trap him and get him with the downward stabs. Once you get him in that, there's not a lot you can do. But like I say, with sucky controls, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. No. At least I already lost all my energy at that point. Now when you first start back, they don't attack for the first few seconds, so you can position yourself better. But that's better when you've got two players. Problem is with the skeletons being faster than him, it's hard to get a position to be able to turn around and hit him. That's what makes him so strong, really. The skeletons. And that's another life gone, and I'll go on my last continue in a second. There we go. I probably won't complete it today, guys, I'm sorry. I did say this was a casual playthrough. Yeah, I'm definitely going to lose. I've not dealt nearly enough damage to him at this point. He can actually do the ground magic as well, the Death Adder does, but he launches 6 bursts rather than just 1. I'm not sure if he does it on 1 player or whether he only does it on 2 player mode, but he definitely uses it. Right. No, wasted. Yeah, I'm definitely going to die. I was hoping to be able to show you the end, but there we go. So that was where I needed the downward stab and it just didn't respond fast enough. If you downward stab trap in there, it's all over. But the controls just aren't responding fast enough to do it. And it's all over. I think I've got 1 life left. Yeah, definitely I'm going to do it on 1 life. That was a bit unfair. Nearly caught him in there, but not enough now. 1 more hit and it's a game over, guys. I'm sorry. I tried. There we go. I've tried. I'll set up better controls for tomorrow and I'll see if the next game I play will be a bit better than that. Weirdly, that input lag only happens really badly on the Megadrive emulator on this. I don't know if I've set something wrong up in my options, but it was an attempt anyway. All of my lives pretty much disappeared at the very end there. Oh well. But anyway, that's Golden Axe, one of my favourites. Something I've really enjoyed playing a lot over the years. Usually a lot better than that. And I'll put a bit of a post on and I'll let you know what I'm going to try and do tomorrow night. Yeah, the skeletons are ridiculous, Paul, yeah. I'll try and do some different games, Chris, yeah. Like I say, I really need to sort out my control situation. The Ouya controller has like a compensation thing for the lag, but only when you're using the Ouya. This is Bluetooth to my Android TV, and there's definite input lag. It's not so bad on some of the platforms. I was hoping actually I would have been able to play ActRaiser tonight because the SNES emulator, it doesn't do it quite so bad on. I need to check my settings and see what's going on. I might use a slightly different Megadrive emulator, but I've been trying to use the .mu emulators because they're the best generally. But for some reason this emulator's not working. I might try updating it, see if that helps. Yeah, the music's awesome on this game, man. Anyway, guys, that was my stream anyway. Wasn't very long. I knew it wouldn't be. It was about half an hour I thought it would be. I'm not going to make any excuses. I fucked up, but there we go anyway. Coming up shortly anyway, we've got Dana Medians has got his isolation interactive chat over on his YouTube channel. Look for Danester on YouTube. That's coming up at about 8 o'clock, I think. And then immediately after, I think at 9:30, Aaron Davis, who has got more skills than me, will be going through the Ninja on the Master System. And he will be hopefully going through and completing that. And that is a damn hard game, so make sure you check in and see what's going on there. I'll put another viewer's choice, couple of options up shortly. And if you want to put your votes on there for what I play tomorrow night, then let me know and I'll get on that. Catch you later.